to Knoxville, don't be late. Baker's Live, it's gonna be great. June 5th and 6th, mark your date at Dollywood, we'll celebrate. Meet Baker and more cool friends, live show magic that never ends. Come to Dollywood, feel the vibe. With great people there, it's gonna be a ride. Rides, fun, and meet and greet. Baker and pals, the crew's so sweet. Get ready for laughs, cheers, and thrills. Knoxville's the place, it's giving chills. Meet Baker and more cool friends. Live show magic that never ends. Come to Dollywood, feel the vibe. With great people there, it's gonna be a ride. June 5th and 6th, don't miss the fun. Meet Baker and friends, it's second to none. Don't miss the fun. Meet Baker and friends, it's second to none.
Hey everyone, welcome back. I hope you got something to eat. I got my suit heated up and it's standing right beside me, so Court better come back soon so I can get hot food today. For those of you who is following along in the Karen Reed case, there have been a motion today. Apparently, according to the defense, all the video material, or most of it, the original DVR material, as they stated, accidentally got deleted. Probably not at all by anyone working for the Canton PD or the MSP. They are seeking to have their experts travel and pay refunded, because when he arrived to certify the video material, you know, the inverted Sally Port video, they couldn't get the original. More than that, apparently they now have turned over from the state a video showing our good friend Brian Higgins, Mr. Himself, at the police station at 1:26 in the morning. Remember, he was too drunk to drive his patrol car, so he chose to go back to the police station to move his cars around while he was drunk. On that recording, he has a phone call at, I believe it's 1:34. I just speed read some of it. That's going to be interesting. We know we can't really get into his phone records because his phone magically, the day before there was an order to preserve, he chose to change his phone, and like any other normal person, and I won't hear any of this disparaging hatred against Mr. Hippo, he went to an army base and threw the phone away, where most people throw their trash away. I, for one, always drive to the nearest army base whenever I have when I have trash, I need to get rid of. Marissa just shared something. 126, he arrives and speaks with some unidentified individual on the phone as she's leaving between 1:34 and 1:34:52 and 1:34:56. Significantly, this material and relevant evidence, which established Brian Higgins was on the phone with someone unidentified individual at 1:34 as she left the Canton Police Department shortly after O'Keefe's death, was withheld from the defense in the first trial. We know Andy Bev will, in her best Andy Bev voice, say, "I'll allow it." So it'll probably be a big ball of, why the hell is my screen all of a sudden streaky? Well, I don't know. Hopefully it looks really bad. Did my camera shows a new setting again? I'm really annoyed with this camera right now. Does it clean it up? No, it doesn't really clean it up. I don't know what's wrong. But most likely Bev will say, "I'll allow it." Well, it's an air base, an army base. In Denmark, we don't, everything is the defense. She'll allow it, but it'll open them up for Brady violations because they didn't turn over all the evidence. Again, if you are running a perfect case, why don't you just turn over the evidence? Maybe it's a nothing burger. Maybe it's totally cromulent. But most likely, it makes people wonder, like I'm doing right now, thinking, what in the Hölle, that's hell in German, is going on in Canton? Why don't they just give them the evidence? And now they don't have the original video, so they can't verify any of the videos. She'll allow it in. It's BS. They shouldn't be allowed to bring it in. But it's the Karen Reed case keeps on giving. I don't have with physical keys, but I have my two last phones. Coppers cannot be charged for bad driving because of snow. If anything, snow must be charged with making slippery or possibly already melted, making it hard. Yeah. Didn't Higgy help Uncle Brian drag John out into the yard? I don't know. I wasn't there. I don't need to discuss who could have done it other than I know Karen Reed didn't do it. That was proven in court. I'm having soup whenever court comes back so I can have my food. I did say that all the videos have been corrupted or is deleted. Are there fries involved? Not in my soup. Wasn't there a call around that time that was a bot dial? No, I believe that was that was after 2 when he was in bed, because that's what the explanation was. I can't remember them talking about any calls around that time. He went to the police station. He couldn't remember. First, it was to do work. Then it was to move his car. He changed his statements around that time as well. Of course, Lefty. I forgot that you have the inside scoops. Right after the bot parking. No, the bot dialing was after 2 when he was in bed sleeping and when Brian Albert was making sweet, sweet love to his lady and still answered the phone, which to me is quite impressive because I don't have that much dexterity either in my buttocks or in, you know what I mean. I like the ground black Angus idea, but you are on your own with the black mold soup. Oh, are we going to Panama bread? Well, black mold, I heard it's a tickler. It'll make you feel tingly after. I know Bev won't allow any of this, and at what point does the Supreme Court rule on the previous evidence, and when are they stepping in and say, well, we need to chuck that lady out of here? How can they get away with losing vital evidence? Well, they got away with not having any chain of custody of all the evidence in the first trial, just claiming, well, we did keep the custody like we normally do. Where's the custom log? Well, we didn't make one. So where was the clothes? Well, it was drying in a room. Wasn't it in a car? No. It was perfectly preserved in a room on butcher's paper, right outside the evidence room. And everyone had access. Yeah, but no one goes in there. Again, in a case where the judge was fair, I can say this. I hear that a lot of people are getting sued right now. But I can say this without getting sued by Bev, because I don't find her fair. And I find that I can, with the ruling she made, I find I can have that belief in, and as long as I believe it, it can't be defamation. She was highly prejudiced against the defense. She showed it during the trial, during her rulings, and she will allow this and say, well, we saw it in the first trial, and you didn't have any problems with it back then, blah, 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 get it in. It's a Brady violation. They didn't turn it over at the time. They didn't turn over all the raw material. We had the tech guy from the state say, I don't know what's on this compact disc, because it wasn't what he had. And you had the reverse video presented, and then they said it wasn't a big thing. She should have instructed the state that that's not okay, that they now need to remove it, that the jury has to disregard it, and they have to show the first video. They shouldn't be allowed to bring all of that in, but that's why I, with confidence, you can say I found her biased. That's not defamation. I love all these defamation suits going around right now. I don't think people know what it takes. Brandon says, can you draw a butt dial before you succumb to the black mold? Stay away from the blue cheese. Description is misleading. It's mold and it's not blue. Can I draw a butt dial? This is my artistic rendition of a butt dial. And this is in no way do I know anything about what either of the Bryans are packing. Thank you, Brandon. Well, I have no evidence she's corrupt. I know, but isn't evidence from a previous trial supposed to be stored in a safe place? Well, if they didn't, what the hell's happening to my camera now? I don't have it on autofocus. No, I don't have autofocus on. Stop it. Thank you. Just got back from reading the motion. I honestly can't with these effing people. No, it's ridiculous. I'll probably try and read it at some point, but we're on trial duty today. Nothing like arts and craft time to lower the blood pressure a little. Exactly. It's good. Thank you, Brendan, for thinking about my blood pressure. Hey, Jeff Knox. Think there needs to be a butt tentacle for modern butt dials. I put a butt tentacle in there. I'm not sleeping. Is that a toot? No, it was a little butt tentacle. Thank you, Tim. No, that was Brian Higgins. He's just I did no such thing. That's a Kardashian. Mazel tov. This is a new trial, so her words may backfire once again. No, because the good thing is Bev can change her mind all she wants. He is the king of the castle. Well, the queen. And she makes the rules. She doesn't care. She'll just overrule this like everything else. Yeah, we really want to see the meatballs things. Hey, Harmony. Hades. We just had a rendition of what happened in the Karen Reed case with all the bot dialing. Well, the latest is the defense have filed a motion claiming that all the video evidence is corrupted in its original form. They don't say that it's deleted by the state, but they are saying it's corrupted. Yeah, I know what you meant, but I'm saying she don't care that she said something the first time. She'll just, and if they bring it up, she'll yell at them. Why funny, Miss Reed? I remember a phone and a bot, but I don't think Ray J was calling anyone. No, I'm thinking it's probably the mom holding the phone. Thank you. No, that's either Brian Higgins' bot or Brian Albert's bot. They were the one bot. The bot pirates were bot dialing. It is very ridiculous. What if the bot dialing happened because they were using one of those Bluetooth B plugs and tried to adjust the settings? Oh, maybe. Yeah, we read that the other day that Bluetooth fun toys could be a safety risk. So maybe because Brian Alberts couldn't really make Coco scream anymore, he had Brian Higgins sit in his house and turn up and down for the. Maybe Ashley, you cracked the case. That's what they were both dialing, and they they were ashamed that the old man Alberts really didn't pack the punch he used to do. Again, I don't know if it's an actual size comparison. Something so funny on the if a woman's life wasn't on the line here, it would actually be impressive how brazen they are. Yeah, exactly. If Higgins lied as part of his statement to the feds, he's in doo-doo. Never trust the feds. That's all I'll say. It happens, the Russians dropped a very localized EMP thing there. Sergeant Goody claims he saw Higgins at 1:30 at Canton PD, so he's there all of 8 minutes, and between he's seen by someone else, but that's it. Interesting. Where did the picture go, Jemima?
All right. Are there any matters that we need to take up at this time, Mr. Truman?
Nothing from the state, Your Honor. Thank you.
Anything from the defense?
My next witness will be the juvenile, Your Honor.
All right.
It's because they want a trial 3.
And it has been raised to the court.
Yeah, and Rackets were back yesterday. We have to get in touch with him and hear if he can make the Baldinos with Bluetooth.
That we can work it out easily so that his face is not portrayed on camera or on screen. But if he decides to sit in the gallery like some of the other witnesses have done after they present their testimony, his face will be on camera, because there is a camera up here, as you can see. So somebody needs to tell him that he will be shown on camera
Different
as
strokes from
being
different
seated
books.
in the gallery, because that's where.
So now we'll have the son, who was 12 years old at the time. I really hope Colonel Klink is better. And look who's back.
Yes.
We have the other witness back, other defense lawyer back.
Oh, okay. Okay. That's a good solution.
Yeah, we can't hear her.
Are we sure that he'll be out of camera range, or is it iffy?
I can see her, so
Okay. Well, okay. Okay. That's all we can ask for.
oh, and while they are getting this kid to the stand,
Discovered that there might be a way that he could sit in the corner, but it's iffy, and his face may be portrayed.
and he's right there now, right? Yeah, he's right there. Get out, kiddo.
Well, we need the jury.
It always works well. Well, yeah, let's get the jury in. If anyone is up late, which for me is your time, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tonight, and maybe one of the mods can share a link. Brother Counsel, the guy who made the grifter test, have reached out to the other side. He is pro Free Karen Reed because he doesn't believe the evidence show she hit John O'Keefe. He will have Kate Peters and
Indeed, I have
Plevin on tonight, 6 p.m. It's probably going to be a lot of him saying, well, that's just not a fact. No, Turtle Boy doesn't have anything to do with this. Plevin, that's not physically possible. I wish I could stay up and watch it, but anyone who has the time, please check out Brother Counsel tonight, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where he will have Plevin and Kate Peters on to have a friendly discussion about the facts in the case. Two people I never put in the same sentence as facts is Kate Peters and Plevin, but I hope that he finally can nail Plevin down to what he believes happened, because he changes his mind more than I change my underwear, which is once a month.
By Mr. Selden, who is alive and well, thank
Brother
goodness,
Counsel.
and is with us hopefully for the duration of the trial. All right, we are still on the defense case in chief, and I would ask Mr. Victor to please call the next witness.
And now I will call MAC to the stand.
Very well.
Then I can have my dinner.
If you'll just follow the bailiff, he'll show you where to go. If you'll raise your right hand, please. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, Your Honor.
Have a seat right there.
Would you tell the jury the initials of your name?
MAC.
If you could just scoot up a little bit towards the microphone. Thank you.
Say it again.
Say it again.
MAC.
There you go. Do you know the defendant, Natalie Cochran?
Yes, she is my mother.
Okay. I presume you remember your father,
Yes.
Michael Cochran.
Yes, sir.
He is deceased. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
When did he die?
February 11th, 2019.
Okay. Who else lived in your house ever since you've been born?
The only people that lived in my house while he was still alive was me, my mom, my sister, and my dad.
Okay. Now, what was your relationship with your father?
I would say it was good. We had a good relationship.
What did you do together?
All types of stuff. He was my baseball coach, my football coach, led me through several sports. Went shooting together, went hunting together. We just always did stuff together.
Your father was very athletic, wasn't he?
Yes, sir.
He participated in all kinds of sports himself, right?
Yes,
As
sir.
well as he coached sports.
Yes, sir.
He cared about his physical appearance
Yes, sir.
and even participated in some tough contests there, right?
Yes, sir. He did a couple Tough Mudders and Tough Man.
Tough what?
Tough Mudder.
Marissa, just wait till Karen Reed 2.0 starts and you can look at Brian Albert's crutch for 8 weeks again.
And Tough
Right.
Man contest.
Sorry,
Was successful.
O'Keefe's
Very.
nutsack.
Did he ever try to participate in any bodybuilding contests?
I know that he did in high school. He used to do a bunch of powerlifting, and I don't know if he ever did any shows or anything.
Okay. He appeared perfectly healthy on the outside, right?
Yes, sir.
Now, however, he had some medical problems, didn't he?
Yes, sir.
Do you remember 2017, December, when he had back surgery?
Yes, sir.
How old were you at that time?
9 or 10.
Okay. Do you know why he had to have back surgery?
Because he lifted we had a big light pole in our backyard next to our garage. He lifted it up just so he can move it to a different location. And that's when he messed up his back.
He did what?
Picked up a light pole by himself and messed up his back.
Couldn't he have gotten any help?
Of course, but it's just how he is. He wants to do everything by himself.
Okay, and he injured his back.
This lawyer has no idea about what tough mudding, bodybuilding, strongman, powerlifting, any of this is. I think he's just in love with Arnold Schwarzenegger and think that's what everyone who goes to the gym tries to look like.
And he had to have surgery.
Yes, sir.
Do you remember whether he liked going to the hospital?
Not at all.
After this first surgery, did he say anything around the house that would make you believe that he hated hospitals?
That he never wanted to be at a hospital. He just didn't like hospitals.
He liked doctors?
No.
Okay. Now, when in 2018, there was an episode that forced him to go to the hospital as well. Do you recall that?
Yes, sir.
You were what, 11 at that time, 12? Oh, wait a minute, 11, 12?
Say 10 or 11, yes.
10 or 11, I'm sorry. What happened to him in October of 2018? Do you recall? When he got sick?
He got sick, and I feel like around that time is when you could just notice that he started to change a little bit.
How did he start to change then?
just forgetting stuff all the time. And he was more aggressive for sure.
Towards whom? Aggressive.
Towards everybody.
What was he forgetting? What was he forgetting at that time?
Just like things that he had to do, that he had planned, and he would just forget about it. And he just leave stuff at the house all the time. Just stuff that was unusual. Like he always had everything kept together. Pretty nice.
Okay. Right after October 31st, he had to go to the hospital very soon thereafter on November the 2nd of 2018, right?
Yes.
What was wrong with him then? It was just a couple of days later.
I feel like,
Do you remember what was wrong with him?
I don't know exactly what was wrong with
I mean,
him.
I'm not looking for medical terms, but what did you observe?
I almost said he had brain fog almost. Like it was just,
Brain fog, you said? Did he complain of headache?
We know at least her sister was part of the Ponzi scheme as well.
not that I remember.
Okay. How long did he stay in the hospital that time? Like a week, 5 days?
5
Something
days
like
or a
that?
week.
Do you remember him coming back home from the hospital? Remember that?
Not really.
But at some point he returned home from the hospital, right?
Yes.
How did he act then?
He acted fine. He always tried to paint a picture for the kids, I guess, to just make us not worry about him or something. I don't know, but he acted fine. It was just still the same things of him forgetting stuff and him just, I don't know. I felt like he was less happy.
Was his condition or condition as you saw it improving, or was it getting worse?
Getting worse.
And let's say in January of 2018, what was he doing that makes you believe that he was getting worse?
Just continue to constantly forget things, and he would have more and more just snaps, like when he would just snap and just get super angry all the time.
Did he ever say that he was in some kind of physical discomfort?
No, not to me.
Okay. Did he look like he was in physical discomfort?
In my eyes, he was perfectly okay. In my eyes.
How about the beginning of February? Getting worse?
Yeah. And he just didn't want to do stuff as much anymore. We used to always go out and do stuff together, and me and him would, and he just wasn't as active anymore. Didn't feel like doing anything.
He was only 38, wasn't he?
Yes.
Did he look to you like he lost interest in life? Or did he perhaps have some limitations that caused him not to enjoy what he was doing?
I think he was just too worried about everything. He was always worried about money. He was always worried about everything in his life, that he just wanted everything to be perfect for him and us. And I feel like that was his biggest worry.
Okay. Throughout the years that we've been discussing here, your father has taken some medications. Would that be a fair statement?
Yes, sir.
What kind of medications did he take? Or whatever he took, that looked like medications?
He'd take his supplements, which was 30 pills a day every morning, and then his anabolics, which are steroids, and
Did he ever take any insulin?
I didn't see him personally take it. No, I didn't see him personally take it.
Did he ever inject anything?
Definitely steroids.
Okay. Now, was there a time when he was supposed to take
To me, it still sounds like they're coached to say that because you don't take your roids in front of your kids.
some medication for any type of seizures? He had seizures, right?
Yes.
It was insulin he never saw.
Convulsions? Did he have convulsions, seizures?
Yes, but I didn't witness them
Okay.
in person. No.
Was he ever taking any medication for that?
Not to my knowledge, but I'm sure that he was
Now,
with
let
all
me-
of the pills that he was taking.
Let me ask you this. He didn't have a very high opinion of doctors, did he?
No.
And if a doctor prescribed something and he didn't want to take it, he wouldn't take it.
You're right.
Minor kid.
You don't know exactly what the those substances were in the amount of what 30 pills a day.
No,
He had
sir.
his own cabinet for that, right?
Of course.
Tell the jury about his cabinet that he had all this medication in, or whatever it was.
It was just a really, it was a long, tall cabinet, and it just had all of his supplements and pills that he took. And he would get every bottle down every morning, and he would lay it out on the counter. And then I'd stand right next to him. He'd make his protein shake, and he'd take 2 handfuls and take the first handful, chug his protein shake, take the second handful, chug his protein shake, and finish it. And that'd be it. He'd be ready to start his day.
How long has he been doing that?
Since I was a baby.
Okay. Where was he getting all that stuff?
He did shop at GNC a lot, but that was only for his supplements. And then he used to brag all the time about him getting his steroids from Mexico. I wouldn't necessarily say brag, but he would always say it was from Mexico.
What did he get from Mexico? Do you know?
I don't know the name of the steroid, but it was definitely an anabolic.
Do you ever see a bottle of it?
There's a white box that would come, and I never touched it or anything.
Was there anything on the box that suggested that it was not for human consumption?
I never really read it,
Okay.
to be honest.
Okay. Weren't you concerned that your dad was taking some stuff from Mexico?
Come on now. He was 12 years old. This is BS. Don't BS a BSer. I'm a professional grifter. I know this is too stupid. Of course, a 12-year-old isn't worried his dad is taking stuff from Mexico because he doesn't know what stuff from Mexico is.
I asked him for some when I was little because I asked him what it did, and he said to make you strong. And I said, "Can I have some then?"
Hey, I'm Aline. Welcome back.
And he said, "No, maybe when you're older." And with my lack of knowledge, with the knowledge I have now of it, yes, for sure. But my lack of knowledge back then, no, I was not scared. I figured that everything that he did, he was in control of. And I felt like he was always, I don't know, I just always felt safe around him, everything that he did.
Did he talk to you in the hospital in 2018 when he was there?
I would like to say yes.
Do you remember a conversation that he had with you and I believe your sister about kind of being very pessimistic about life and his life and the existence in this world?
Because a lot of bodybuilders use insulin in connection with HGH, and HGH is a growth hormone, but it's a steroid, but they use them together. So that's the defense theory, is he must have overdosed himself with insulin, because, well, if he died from the insulin. But bodybuilders use insulin a lot to try, and someone said it's to digest food better, but it's to move stuff into the cells faster, because your system can't when you train as much as, sorry, just finished eating. When you train as much as they do and spend the amount of energy, you need to get your depot, I don't know if you call it that, your storage filled in the body again with glucose, so your muscles can grow faster. By injecting insulin, you're telling your body, because it lowers your blood sugar, that you need more sugar put into your cells, and that's why you can use it to boost your gains.
What was he saying?
I can't give you the answer on that.
Okay. Your father was, his profession was an IT man. Is that what
Yes,
his
sir.
profession was?
Yes, sir.
What did it mean to you?
I remember him doing several buildings, like wiring buildings and always working on computers and stuff. And I just figured he was just a regular guy.
Well, let me ask you this one more thing about this computer business. He was ordering those supplements from Mexico through what channels? Computer?
I would say computer.
Okay. Did you ever see anything that had the name nootropics?
No.
Okay. All right. So he was an IT man, whatever that means, and he worked on computers a lot.
Yes, sir.
Around 2017, 2019, did he work for any company? Or did he have his own business?
I don't remember exactly when he got laid off from the workforce, but I know they started their business around that time.
They being your mom and your dad?
Yes, sir.
And what business was that?
Their contracting business.
They contracted with whom?
Federal government.
And you remember that?
Yes.
Who was working on the contracts?
My dad.
Was there ever a time when your father was working on the contracts and your mom was reading a book?
Yes, sir.
Tell us about it.
My dad and my mom were laying in the room in bed together, and I was in there. I was young, and I was laying in between them, and my mom was watching a movie while she had a book in her hand. And my dad was on his computer, and he was going through contracts, and you could just see thousands of dollars on the contracts. And I asked him what they were, and that was the day that he found a 50 cal contract that I helped him with. And yeah, it just kept going from there. He just never got off. Even we were in the hunting stand and he was still on his computer working on contracts.
And your mom was watching a movie?
Yes, sir.
She didn't have anything to do with that contract, did she?
No, sir.
All right.
Thank you, Consciously Biased. Sending love from DC. I like DC. It's a beautiful place.
Was your father somewhat secretive about his business?
there.
Obviously wouldn't discuss it with a 13-year-old or 10-year-old on the business level of the MBA and his associates, but what did he tell you about his business?
That the business had to be a woman-owned business so they could get more contracts. And
Why is that?
How many of you are business owners? We had Resta's mom in here earlier. How many of you are business owner? How many of you goes to your 10-year-olds and say, do you believe the government, these new DEI requirements, it has to be a woman-owned business because then it's easier for us to get money from the government? I'm just, bro, what do you think about it? And your 10-year-old looks at you and say, well, Dad, it depends what economical school you are looking at it, because you could say that the stimulus of the women-led businesses, as long as we make sure that women are really running the business and not just put up as front person, could make even more businesses available out there, drive innovation, drive competition, which in the end could lead to the government having cheaper contracts, because now we have 50% more that could have a startup, because it's very clear from every survey we do that women only start clothes and hobby businesses on average, and they are only something like 13% of every new business startup. So, Dad, I think if we want to use social engineering to make more women take the leap, start a business, which could down the road drive innovation, drive prices down, I think it's a good way of using taxpayer money. But on the other side, if you just do the Title IX thing and just put a front person on it to claim it's woman owned or veterans owned or minority owned, so you can scam the government out of larger subsidies, I think it could have a negative effect, because it'll never be stimulating the parts of the workforce that you want to maybe try and get into taking the risk of doing a startup. So that I can watch it from different perspectives, but as the great philosopher Nietzsche once said, what about those people? And a guy with a funny mustache from Austria might have misunderstood what Nietzsche said. But I don't know, Dad. Are you more of a Keynesian, or are you a Marxist, or could we discuss that? I really think Kierkegaard said it best, that it's in the choice that we live. It's not just living if you don't make choices. And if the government can help women make more choices that could benefit society, drive up the tax income on a wide level, I think it's a very good thing. That, oh, by the way, can I watch Teletubbies when we're done discussing economics? See you later, Fedorowski. Have a great filming. Yeah, but you don't tell a 10-year-old. Your kids know what we do in our business. One works with my husband, but they don't know everything about our business, such as finances. No, and you don't sit down and say, hey, mommy is on the title. Mommy, don't do anything, because then daddy can get more of that government paycheck. When I was 10 years old, I had my own newspaper route, and that's how I learned about money.
I don't remember exactly what he said about it, but it was always that they could get better contracts of it being a woman-owned business.
Okay.
Her owning 51%, him owning 49%.
And that's what he owned as a minority
Yes, sir.
shareholder, or was just a corporation or was it partnership? What was it?
I think we all know who wore the pants in the situation. He definitely.
That's not what he asked you about. Now he's asking you how the business was structured. You can call my kids because even though you can't tell because the quality haven't improved, I have actually set up a business for my YouTube channel. It has to do with how to file different stuff. They wouldn't know what type of business I filed it as because I haven't talked to them about it. I called my daughter who works with customs and stuff like that. And I asked, could you maybe help your dad with how to figure out to do the accounting? Because I haven't done accounting in a long time. Now he's asking if he's a shareholder, is it a LLC? What is this? He's 10 years old at the time. Come on now.
We ran it way more than she.
Yeah, exactly.
Your father was a dominant figure.
Of course.
Was he a dominant figure in the life of the marriage, or just generally speaking, he was a dominating character?
Both.
By the way, was there ever a time when he took Natalie's phone?
Yes.
Why is that? Well, was he? Well, let me strike this. Was he a controlling man?
Very.
Tell the jury about it.
My mom was at work. She used to work at Access Health down towards where's that place? I don't remember the exact location, but she used to work at Access Health, and she had a coworker that hit on her, and my dad pulled up, and he either had a baseball bat or something. Not my dad, the guy that hit on my mom, and yeah, he took that baseball bat from him and handled business. And there's several occasions that are like that. And he would always check her phone. It's just him just being crazy.
Well, was he a jealous man?
Very.
He
wanted what was his.
Was he also controlling in terms of checking the computers, checking the phones?
Yes. He would monitor my phone. He'd monitor everybody's phone in our house. Okay. Everybody's.
So some of the messages that were played here earlier were at the time of August. Do you remember when he took my client's phone?
Not the exact date, no.
Okay.
It was multiple times that he had her phone.
Did he ever use her cell phone?
I'm sure.
Now,
yeah, he's sounding like Eric July.
Your mother was obviously working as a pharmacist at one point, right?
Yes, sir.
It was a full-time job, right?
Yes, sir.
Honestly, I think the kids are hurting because it sounds so effing coached, planned, studied, whatever you say. It's a 10-year-old boy we're talking about, not the 17 who's on the stand now. We're talking about a 10-year-old boy who, well, I used to rummage through my dad's spreadsheets and he monitored everything. Yeah, well, if your mom had a guy hitting on her and then he pulled up, did she say this guy was hitting on her and he had to stop it? Is that why he took the phone? Or were she texting back and saying, hey, you stud muffin, could you unshackle me from the bounds of marriage and please release me, let me go, 'cause I just don't love you anymore.
And she was raising the two of you, that is you and your sister.
Yes, sir.
Who was
the other guy had a bat.
The house in terms of cooking meals, cleaning, doing all of these things?
My mom.
What was your father doing at that time?
He was always either with Chris Davis or doing something. He's just
Business?
yeah. They were always at our airport hangar a lot.
Okay.
Those two were.
Who owned that airport hangar?
We owned an airport hangar. It was a big airport hangar, and then I can't remember
The other witness said you were about to buy a hangar.
if we had two airport hangars. We had one big one and one small one, or Chris owned two.
Okay.
It was either one of them. He owned one. We
Do
used to go to his a
you
lot.
guys have a helicopter?
I know we had a plane in there, but we didn't have a helicopter. I don't think.
Well, looks like you guys around 2018, 17, 18, 19, led a pretty good life.
Yes, sir.
You guys had a helicopter, hangar. You could fly. Well, you had a plane. You
Anyway.
could fly whenever you wanted to.
Yes, sir.
Had a couple of motorcycles, right?
Yes, sir.
You were too young to ride them, right?
No, sir.
No. A couple of cars.
Yes, sir.
In fact, more than one car. What do you guys have?
I remember them buying. We had two Yukons, one white one and one gray, or a silver color, and we ended up giving the white one, I think, to Jennifer Davis. It was either the white one or the silver one, the one of them. And he had his GMC truck and his Shelby Cobra, which was.
You wanted to drive that, didn't you?
I wanted that car. Yes.
You wanted that
yes,
car.
sir.
It was an expensive car. It was an antique.
Yes, sir.
All right. How about the houses, homes? How many did you guys have?
We had our house on 4H Lake Road, and then we had he ended up buying a house for Chris Davis's aunt. I think it was her aunt, or somehow they're related, and rented it out to her and renovated it, and the hangars.
How about boats?
Boats. We had two boats. We had a brand new wave boat before it.
No, and I think they should have stuck with that instead of having these kids be financial geniuses who was actually filing the taxes. Yes, I'm exaggerating. Keep going with he was a roidhead who overdosed, and that's why he had a bad temper. All of this makes it seem too coach to me, and I'll yell at both sides because I want them to run a good case. I didn't believe the state had proven it, but I'm feeling that the defense is giving the jury more and more to not believe. And that's a big problem in my world. Just stay with the roids.
Before the year even started, I think it was like a brand new 2020 boat or something like that.
Do you remember going to a boat sale with your parents?
Yes, sir.
Didn't your father buy 3 of them?
I didn't know that he bought 3 of them, but I know that he had 2.
Oh, yeah, maybe about 2. Okay. But
Maybe
he bought
about
them.
2.
Yes, sir.
You don't know either. So don't say it.
You went to good schools, right?
Yes, sir.
Private schools?
No, sir.
No, you went to public school.
Yes, sir.
You had everything that the kids could desire
Yes, sir.
materially.
Yes,
right?
sir.
Took some nice vacations.
Wonderful vacations.
Where'd you go?
No, but there's a difference between saying, well, yeah, he had a temper, he got angry, and then sitting here saying, well, he talked about women-owned business and how it was important that a woman was the head of it, blah, blah, blah. To me, it sounds very studied, and I don't like that.
Hawaii.
Witnesses.
We go to New York all the time with the Davises.
New York City?
Yes, sir.
Not a cheap place. All right. Okay, where else did you go?
We go to Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, that place. We went and saw a couple college World Series baseball games in Omaha. And
Well, how about a place called Paris, France?
Paris, yeah, we went to Paris,
Yeah.
France. Been to a few
Beaches?
places. Ocracoke Island. We've been to a few beaches. Yes.
Who paid for all of this?
He did.
Your dad.
Yes.
And who did you go with? Just the entire family, or
The
did you
entire
take-
family and the Davises.
And your father footed the bill for everybody.
Maybe not for the Davises so much, but our family, of course, yes. He took care of us. He most definitely bought their dinner a good bit.
Your father was a generous person, wasn't
Yes, sir.
he? Happy when he had plenty of cash on hand.
That was when he was happy.
And he had plenty of money to spend, right?
Yes, sir.
Except that this money came from the investors. Isn't that true? Do you know anything about that?
I don't.
Was there a time when anybody invested in the business? Do you know?
Not that I can completely remember now.
Okay. Okay. On February the 6th, when your father collapsed, you were in school, right?
Yes, sir.
When you returned home, who was at that location?
I know my mom was there. I can't remember if
I'm not even sure at 10 years old I knew who paid a bill. When we were out to dinner, I got my banana split and then I left.
what's her name? The Hamiltons were there, and I think Thomas was there.
Okay.
Thomas was there.
Did your mother appear to be concerned about your father?
Of course.
And in fact, she went into the vehicle that took him to the hospital, right? Leaving you and your sister with the Treadways, right? When your father went to the hospital that day.
Yes. Yes, sir.
And she was holding his hand as they were leaving, right?
Yes. Crying.
Crying.
Yes.
After your father's death, what was your mother like?
I feel like she was very strong.
She still did her,
For
did her
taking
business.
care. For
She
taking
still did her business. True.
Yes, sir.
Was she brokenhearted?
Thank you so much, Restless Mom. 7 months and I stay only because you're hilarious. Much love. Oh, you're too kind.
Because of the death of her husband?
Very. We all were.
If I may have a second, Your Honor.
Certainly.
I got my split and split. Exactly. Can you get him to say
Questions I
Mexican
have?
roids
Witness,
again?
Your Honor. Thank
All
you.
right, cross-examination, Ms. Akert. Go ahead.
That works.
Yeah, and again, this is kind of like he knew everything about it. He knew nothing about it from the state. She kept doing her business, but she didn't know anything about the business beforehand. So she learned the day he passed away. She learned everything about the business and kept the Ponzi scheme going.
In your lifetime, did you ever see your mom give your dad a medication? Not Motrin or anything like that?
No, no.
Okay. And you testified that he injected what you called his anabolics, right?
Yes.
Did you ever watch him do that?
When I was little.
And if there was testimony here today that he was taking what you're referring to as anabolics orally, would you call that false?
No, he had droppers too.
Okay.
Anabolic droppers. What
Did your
the hell
parents
is
share
that? I've
finances
never
when
heard
your dad
about
was
that.
around?
Those.
I object to the form of the question. The word share is very...
Perhaps you could rephrase, Ms. Akert.
Trying to figure out how to rephrase, Your Honor.
Okay.
Are you aware if they spent money out of the same accounts?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or I'm sure that he just bought it for. Used his own money.
Would it surprise you to know that both of their names were on a number of accounts?
Can you repeat that again?
Would it surprise you to know that both of their names were on several different bank accounts?
So this is a dropper. So that's just a word someone found somewhere and misunderstood that it must be something you took orally. It's just a syringe.
No, not really.
That's all the questions I have, Your Honor.
All right. redirect, Mr. Victor?
I do not have a redirect examination, Your Honor.
Very well. Any reason to hold this young man?
With the admonitions of the appearance on camera and whatnot.
All right.
I do not. He can be excused.
All right. Let me explain to you. I have made certain that your face is not shown on camera or on screen.
Well, it was.
You can step down and you are released. However, if you choose to sit in the courtroom, your face will probably be portrayed
Can't find
on
any
camera.
anabolic droppers.
I'm just giving you that admonition that you can do as you will and as you wish. But you may step down now and you are excused.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
And Your Honor, may we approach the bench?
Certainly.
They are selling probably very legally test for that will be, I think, like $6. I think that's probably the best test in the world if it costs $6. Did they call off the rest of the witnesses? And yeah. I didn't did that come up in my, but maybe I should try that. I know, I think Anavar D-Ball you can get. I think you can get those as pills. I love that my search history is unaliving, testosterone, needles, insulin. Could I get in trouble if someone looked at my search history? Most likely. Yeah, Iris can bring me some. Well, it's not. Steroids is something different. It's not like shooting up. So yeah. Is dropper really such a niche word? I have many droppers, eyedroppers, glass ones for iodine and aquarium, a dropper for the it was just, I've never heard it used.
Jury, I have good news and bad news, I suppose, and I don't know how you'll take this. In any trial, you have scheduling difficulties, especially when you have expert witnesses, because experts are extremely busy, and we do everything that we can to accommodate their schedules. And I ask you, certainly do not take this out on them, because they do the best they can, and we do the best we can in terms of scheduling. The situation is such that the defense has no further witnesses to present right now. So we can come back tomorrow. The expert witnesses lined up for the defense, and we have 2 or perhaps 3 of them, are not available until Monday. And rather than to piecemeal this thing and have you come in tomorrow and maybe hear a little bit of testimony and then come back and start again on Monday, I'm going to give you the day off tomorrow. We won't work tomorrow. And
suck it, Jamie.
You should anticipate that we will have a full day on Monday, certainly with experts.
No, but a 10-year-old, that's something else.
And maybe with other testimony as well. Now, the good news is we're winding down this case. You can see that we're making progress. And I think that I can tell you with some affirmation that we'll be finished Tuesday or Wednesday of next week. So this is not going to drag on for 4 weeks or longer as we thought at the outset. We're cutting down and streamlining the process so that we can get this to you and get this case resolved as soon as possible. But the upshot of the matter is we don't have anything further to present to you today. So you'll get to go home and watch Jennifer Hudson or Dr. Phil on TV this afternoon. And you don't have to come back tomorrow with the understanding that you'll be here Monday and Tuesday and perhaps Wednesday of next week. This is a very dangerous time, and you see how much effort we've put into this case, and the attorneys have all worked very hard, and we have done everything possible to get this case ready for you. please do not endanger the process by talking to folks over the weekend. Maybe some of you will go back to work tomorrow and your coworkers will attack you. They'll want to know what's going on. People have been watching this on TV. They've been seeing it on the news and reading about it in the newspaper. And so they will come up to you and they'll want to find out the juicy details of the case, and they'll want inside information. Please refrain from talking to these folks and with your relatives and with your friends who will all accost you and want to know about the case. And you can certainly put the blame on me. You can tell them that I'm a hateful old judge and that you're afraid of what I might do, and that I have warned you and threatened you, and that you just can't take the chance of going to jail. You don't have to worry necessarily about going to jail, but you can say that if you wish, to get people off your back so that you don't have to put up with folks hounding you for information. Please do not read anything online. Don't do any research. Refrain from talking to anyone, receiving any information of any kind, so that when you come back Monday, we'll have things lined out for you, and we can proceed. I don't anticipate that next week we'll have any difficulties. I think we can have the process flow better than it has, and we can present the case to you until its finality. Okay? Nobody's throwing tomatoes at me, so I'm happy with that. And again, I'm sorry we couldn't get more accomplished today and tomorrow, but that's just the way it is. And I ask you.
I called him, Billy. That's why he.
Certainly not against
so you
the
could
attorneys.
do what you need to get done.
The very best that we can. All right. With that, ladies and gentlemen, I'll let you go. I'll have a treat for you on Monday. I haven't decided what it is, so it'll be a surprise. And that will encourage you to come back. You'll have to find out what it is. So plan on being here at 9 o'clock. The case is not over, obviously. We have much more to hear and see. So come back Monday, be in your jury room a little bit before 9, and we'll try to start promptly, and we will work through hard and get this matter concluded. Okay? All right. I'm glad to see smiling faces. Very well. You can go with the bailiff now and have a wonderful weekend. All right. I think we're all disappointed that we can't go farther today and tomorrow, but it is what it is, and we have to live with the schedule that we have. Is there anything further that we need to place on the record or discuss before we close out until Monday?
That's from the state, Your Honor. Thank you.
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you all very much, and have a good weekend. Court is in recess.
Court is in recess. Yes. Well, I got a day off tomorrow. That's nice. And on Friday, I should get drunk. Ba-ba-da-ba-ba. Ba-ba-da-ba-ba. Let me see him in my best. On to the test. Chicka chin, chicka chin, chicka chin, chicka chin, chicka chin, chicka chin, chicka chin's on me. Maybe I could get Nick to come. Yeah, maybe. I don't think Nick is up for walking a whole heck of a lot. He's not that mobile, but maybe we can figure something out. No Chickafill. No. Sadly, no Chickafill. Literally an hour of court and also lame. It's called Zoom or telephone. Yeah. This is every day it's happened that they both sides, not just us, but both are well, not just us, not just the defense. Both sides have been really bad at planning their witnesses out. But now we have nothing else to do. There was an 18-page document dropped in the Karen Reed case today. and it's only 8 o'clock my time. I can read that and still be in bed at a reasonable time. And then I can get up and do my morning show tomorrow. No days off. My morning show will be an 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time show, but it's 5 o'clock my time. So I'll do that. I'm gonna take a quick bio break. I have another stream set up, and I'll ship you all over there. If you want to see what the defense have filed a motion about, I will start it up. I've set it till 2:30, but I'll probably start earlier. But I just need to go visit the little boy's room. And we really nothing to talk about right now because we had the big talk after lunch, and now we're back to doing this stupidity again. So yeah, we'll get the hot goes in a minute, but I'll send you over there. I'll be right back, and we can take a look at it and see what Bev will deny in a written motion in 5 weeks. I'll allow it. I'll allow it. I'll allow it.
Exhibit are you referring to?
I'm going to make this 100, Your Honor.
All right.
100.
100.
Because it is 100%
100%.
correct.
Objection, Your Honor.
So you literally built a cannon?
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
All
right, I'm in love. Go back. Please do that again. Oh, that was the cutest thing I've ever seen.
While I'm waiting for this, did you, whether it's true or not, believe that Mr. Randolph had slept with your wife?
I wouldn't care.
You wouldn't have cared?
No,
Did you believe he had slept with your wife?
no,
Did you believe he slept with your mother-in-law?
probably did. Everybody has.
So there-
Everybody has.